Hey everyone, Michelle with Silver Snake Designs, and in today's video I'm going to teach you how to make these wonderful little dangle earrings. I absolutely love these. I think they are cute and I just love how they move and they sway, and you know, I just love them. Very simple to make, just seed beads and rondelles and some ear wires and a jump ring, but we'll go into the materials list later. Just wanted to say this is going to also be a set for August. We had done one for July where we made earrings, a ring, a necklace, and a bracelet. I'm going to do the same thing for August. I will also keep track of all those videos as we release them for the month of August. So I'll link to those videos as they come out, so you will always have links to the prior month's jewelry drops. So anyway, that's really all I wanted to say about these. I absolutely love them. They just love the dangle. So let's get started with the materials list. Okay, so I have 2 jump rings. These jump rings are closed jump rings, which means that there's no little slit to open them up. So you're going to need 2 of those. We're going to bead directly onto the closed jump ring. You're also going to need 2 ear wires. These are sterling silver. You're going to need a pile of rondelles. These are 2 by 3 millimeter rondelles in like a cobalt blue or sapphire color. And you're going to need size 11 seed beads. These are Toho PF 558 galvanized aluminum. Use a long beading needle because we're going to be picking up a number of beads, so a long needle will help you. And I'm using Hercules. I like using Hercules because it is very strong, like Fireline. At least to me it is. I've used this for a couple years now and I absolutely love it. So it has the strength of Fireline and it's got the flow of a nylon. If you don't have Hercules, you can use nylon thread like 1G or KO thread, and you can use that in place of Hercules, but I recommend this. It's really good. All right, so let's get started. Hi, future me. I just want to say, don't forget your glue and then maybe a toothpick. I use the Loctite Super Glue Gel Control because I can squeeze the sides and get a little piece of glue to pop out, because you're going to need glue to make sure the threads stay in place. You could use the GS Hypo Cement, I think it's called, and it's got a very thin nozzle, but the only reason why I can't use it is because I can't see. There's a needle in the cap that goes through that tiny little hole and I can't see it, so I don't use it. But if you want to use that, that would be perfect. This is my favorite one. All right, so we're going to start by picking up 4 rondelles, just like that. Bring them down, and I like to leave a little bit of a tail. We're going to work our tail back through the piece, and then I want to go through the first rondelle that I just put on. And so we want our work to look like this. And because I kind of want the rondelles to stay in place, I'm going to go back through all 4 beads. And just like that. All right. So now that we have that, that looks good, very easy. This other part's going to be really easy as well. In fact, this whole thing's going to be easy. We're going to pick up a seed bead, and we're just going to go through the next rondelle. And then we're going to do that again. Pick up a seed bead and go through the next rondelle. Pick up a seed bead, go through the next rondelle, and then we'll pick up a seed bead and go through the next rondelle. And we're also going to go on that first seed bead that we put on, which will be our step up. So now your work should look like this. And now what we're going to do is we're going to pick up 3 seed beads and go through that next silver seed bead. Then we'll pick up 3 seed beads and go through that next silver seed bead. Okay. Pick up 3 seed beads and go through that next silver seed bead. And then finally we'll pick up 3 seed beads and we'll go through our next silver seed bead. So this one right here. And then we'll go through this one and out this one. So you want to bring your needle through the next 3 seed beads. Okay? And there's that. So now what we're going to do is we want to pick up 25 seed beads. So we'll start 1, 2, 3, 23, 24, and 25. And that's why you needed a long needle. Okay? And now what we're going to do is we're going to take our closed jump ring and we're going to put our needle through it. And then I'm just going to leave this flat so you can see what I'm going to be doing because my hands will get in the way. So now what we're going to do is we're going to skip over 4 beads. Let me spread this out a little bit more so you can see. We're going to go through these beads all through here, and then we're going to not go through this bead, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to skip over these 4, and if I can do this in one shot, this could work, except for that last bead. All right, and when you pull, those 4 beads that you skipped over created a loop to trap the jump ring. Oh, I missed one. Hold on, let me go through the next bead. Okay, and now with that first bead that you originally put on, I'm going to leave that loose. We're going to pick up a seed bead. And now what I want to see is where this thread is going. So we have the thread coming out of this seed bead right here. And we have 1 seed bead here. But we also see that we need a seed bead to come out on the left side. So if you want, you can just move your thread over here because this thread is coming through the right side. So we want to go through the left side of this seed bead right here. Just like that. And then when you pull this, you'll see it creates that. And that gives us a way for this to sit straight up rather than the thread coming out here and it would just be wonky. So that's what straightens this part out. So what we're going to do now is we're going to just go back up through the bead on the right, and then we're just going to go back up through all the beads just to reinforce everything. We'll go through the loop as well. Okay, now be advised, when you're going through the loop, make sure that you're bringing your needle through that loop as well. So in order to get through the next beads, the next few beads, I'm going to take my needle and go through the beads and make sure my needle goes through that jump ring. And then I'm going to come back down through all the beads. Now I think I'll come down this left side just like that, and then I want to come out that top bead on this section just like that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave my working thread here because I want to get the tail out that same bead so we can tie it together. So I'm just going to add my thread onto my needle. And now I'm just going to go up these beads because it's coming out that rondelle. And I'm just going to bring it through. Just follow the bead path, just like that, and pull it through. And now I'm going to tie these two together. Do that a couple times. Or as many times as you like, just like that. And now what I want to do is I want to take my glue. I'm going to add a drop, boop, just like that, little tiny drop. And I'm going to just put it right in there, just like that. And then I'm just going to straighten it out. Just move it so that way the glue doesn't get caught where it's not supposed to. Right in that seed bead. And then just move that like that. You don't want to put too much glue in there. You want to do just the tiniest little bit. Because if you don't, and you put more on, it's not going to be, it's going to get stiff, or it may glue like this or whatever. So you want to make sure that that piece is a little, there it is. And so we got one down. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to do another one, but this time instead of 25 beads, we are going to add 35 beads, but we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to skip over the 4, we're going to go down except for that last one and do the same thing. All right, so let's do dangle number 2. Once again, we're going to pick up 4 rondelles, bring those down, we'll leave a tail, we'll go through all 4 rondelles again, just like this, and then I'll go through my first rondelle, and there we go. Do you remember the next step? Pick up a seed bead, go through the next rondelle, pick up a seed bead, go through the next rondelle, pick up a seed bead, go through the next rondelle, and pick up a seed bead, go through the next rondelle, and then out that seed bead. And now what we're going to do is pick up 3 seed beads and go through the next seed bead, pick up 3 seed beads, go through the next seed bead, pick up 3 seed beads, and go through the next seed bead. And lastly, we'll pick up 3 seed beads and go through the next 3 seed beads, just like that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to string on 35 beads. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 32, 33, 34, and 35. Okay. And now what you're going to do is you're going to take this piece, because we need to add it to this jump ring. And this may be a little bit more difficult, but just pretend this piece isn't there. And now what you're going to do is you're going to go through the jump ring. Okay. We're going to skip over 4. And just like we did, we're going to go through all these beads here except for this last one. So we skipped over 4. And now we're going to go through all these beads. And my needle probably won't make it through because there are more beads on this strand than there were on that one. So we're going to have to do this in 2 sections. So we got that down. Okay, and then everything but this last bead. Okay, so there we go. And we'll pull, and you can see how that went. You can see that these beads are through that jump ring there, are holding the jump ring in place. And once again, we're going to pick up a seed bead. We're going to see where our thread is exiting, and because this is coming out so if we just move our thread here, because this thread is coming out this right side, we're going to go through the left to the right. So just like that. And then we're going to pull. And now what we're going to do, and now you can see our work. Just like that, I'm going to come up the bead here. And the work is probably going to be a bit heavier now that we've got that other piece on. So if the work pulls, like if your thread pulls from the beads and stuff, I really wouldn't worry too much about it, because just a quick pull and everything will come back together. So then we'll just go up the beads, just like that. Mind your thread, because it could get caught on things. And now we'll just come up. Don't forget to go bring your needle through the jump ring. And then through the beads, back down. Just like that. And we'll just come on down. And let me see, did I go through the left or the right? Looks like I will come down this way and out that bead. Okay. Just like that. So now I'm going to leave my working thread. I'm going to add the tail thread to my needle. Just like that. Since it's coming out that rondelle, I'm just going to go through these beads here. And out there. All right, I'm going to pull, and then I'm just going to knot this like we did with the last one. Just like that. And once again, I'm going to grab my little toothpick. I'm going to add a little tiny drop of glue. Just the tiniest little drop. Look how tiny that is. And then we're just going to put the little tiny drop of glue right there. There. Just make that. I don't want it to dry stiff, take that, and that's that. Now we have number 2 on there. And that's what that looks like. And now we have to do number 3. All right, and last but not least, we're going to do our third one, and we're going to add 45 seed beads. So you should be a very old pro at this. Pick up 4 rondelles. We'll bring those down. We'll go through all 4 rondelles and then the first one. Just like that. We'll pick up a seed bead and go through the next rondelle. Pick up a seed bead, go through the next rondelle. Pick up a seed bead, go through the next rondelle. Pick up a seed bead and go through the next rondelle, and then through that first seed bead you put on. And now we will pick up 3 seed beads and go through that next seed bead. Pick up 1, 2, 3 seed beads and go through the next seed bead. Pick up 1, 2, 3, and we'll go through that next seed bead. And then we'll pick up 1, 2, 3, and we'll go through those next 3 seed beads, just like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pick up 45 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 42, 43, 44, and 45. I'm going to bring all those down. And once again, we're going to grab our piece and put that up there. And then we're going to bring our needle through that jump ring. Once again, we're going to skip over 4 beads. And we're going to go through all of them but that last bead. Just like that. I'm going to pick up a seed bead. I'm going to figure out, okay, so it looks like it's coming out the right side. I think I'm just going to flip this over. So now that the bead will be on the left side because the thread is coming out the left side of this bead here. So I want to go from right to left so that this bead will end up on the right side. So just like that. I'm going to come up the bead on the left, and then we're going to just, like we did before, go back through all the beads and just reinforce everything. Once again, don't forget to bring your needle through the jump ring if you have to. And then let's come down all the beads again. And now I want to see what side I'm going to come down. So it looks like I want to come down this one. like that. And I'll come across that top bead just like that, and there we are. And we're coming out that top bead right there. I'm going to take off the needle from my working thread. I'm going to add it to my tail and get that tail thread to come out the bead where my working thread was. So let's see where we are. Okay, so I'm just going to come up. Yes, we want to go this way. So I'm just going to come up through the piece like this. And just follow the beads around the side and come out that bead right there. And once again, we will tie it. One, two, and three, just like that. We will grab our little toothpick one last time, drop of glue. Going to add the drop of glue into that little bead right there. Boop, boop. There we go. And then I'm just going to make sure that it doesn't dry wonky, and then we'll just cut that off. And now, last but not least, the simplest part you're going to do is you're going to grab some pliers. I'm going to grab my whatchamacallit. Oh, we'll open it up from this way. And then you're just going to grab your ear wire, open up the little hole, add the jump ring, close it. I know I'm using needle nose rather than a regular. Oops, my little. And close it, and there we are. Look at that. Got a fun little dangly earring. I think it looks great. So now what you have to do is watch this video all over again to make the other pair, and yeah, and you've got yourself a lovely pair of earrings. So go ahead, watch the video and make the second pair, and I'll see you shortly. And here we are with both earrings made. These are just lovely. I absolutely love the way these dangle and the way they fall, and they're just going to be, I love them. I had so much fun making these. I hope you did too. And keep an eye out for the set. I think next time I may do a bracelet, but we're definitely having a bracelet, a ring, and a necklace. So with that being said, I will see you in the next video. Bye.